Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin, and in the last few videos we've been working on trying to get a new baffle press for my 1943 KSSC air cleaner. Now, we ended up pressing this piece in the last video and it's really close. It just almost fits in the bowl. And I only have enough metal to try to press one more piece before I have to buy some more. So I think what we're going to try to do today is spend a little bit of time and see if we can't get this one to fit inside of here. So I think one of the problems why this does not fit in the bowl quite yet is we have a lot of material that just kind of got bunched up inside of here. You can see right here, here. So I think that just kind of ended up making this outside just a little bit bigger. So I think what we're going to try to do is I'm going to start by cutting all this fold over metal out and see if I can get that to fit a little smoother. And then we might start trying to cut inside here and see if we can't remove that excess material and hopefully get this thing to fit inside the bowl and be done with the first half of the baffle. Let's go ahead and get started. So I don't have a really great plan on how to do this. So I think what I'm going to start doing is just kind of cutting where all the folds are with a Dremel and a cutoff wheel and just see if I can't get some of that material out of there. Alright, so I cut all those ripples maybe about a third of the way around, starting from here to about here. And before I get too much further, I'm going to kind of test the next part. I'm going to take a couple of these body hammers that I picked up, and I'm going to see if I can just flatten that out a little bit. So it's working. It's definitely a lot flatter compared to over here. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead, keep working that process, just keep cutting little bits, pounding it flat, and see if I can't get this rim a little flatter, and then we can start working on the inside. All right, so I did a whole bunch of cutting, did a whole bunch of hammering, and put this back in the press and repressed it. And now this fits inside my bowl. I am really, really happy and excited about that. It's still just a hair tight, but I think it's gonna work. I gotta do a little bit of cleanup in the bowl yet too. There's still a little bit of rust in there. That's holding it all up. But the baffle does go in and come back out. So now what I need to do is I need to close up all these gaps that I put in here. And I think the only way I can do that is with my welder and just kind of make tiny little welds and then grind them smooth. So I'm gonna go ahead, fire up the welder and give that a shot. So I have no idea if this is gonna work or not. I have the smallest gauge wire, which is 0.24 in the gun. I have the welder set for this gauge steel. Let's cross our fingers and try tacking this up. So I got it all tacked up. I don't think it worked very well. I think we're gonna have a lot of holes and I just don't have high hopes, but I'm gonna go ahead, get the Dremel set up. I'm gonna clean off both sides of this weld and let's see what it looks like. Well, I got that first one all welded up, ground down. It's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be, so I'm happy about that, but it's far from perfect. It definitely needs a lot more work, but I think it's gonna hold together fine. Then I also took some time and went around with the Dremel and just hit all the high spots where I made all these cuts. And now this thing fits beautifully. It's got a nice tight fit. It's not really a little bit loose in there, but it slides in and out perfectly. I am so excited about that. I think what I'm gonna do now though, before I go ahead and start welding this thing all together, grinding it down, is I'm gonna cut a hole in the center here so I have a spot to reach in and pull this thing out once it's in the bowl. And then I'm gonna take time and actually cut all the excess off around the bowl to make this thing the right size. And I think having all this extra stuff that's hanging off the side cut off is gonna make it a lot easier to work with. All right, well, one little cutting disc of my Dremel got that little section cut out right here. So this is gonna take a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep cutting away and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Well, I went through about 6 discs on my Dremel, but I have the baffle cut and in the bowl, and it looks really nice. It slides in and out of here pretty nice and easy. I'm really happy with that. I think the next step now is to go ahead, fire up the welder, and start doing a lot of tacking and a lot of grinding. and I don't even want to guess on how long that's going to take. So I went through and did my first round of welding, and it actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to. It's still not very pretty. It needs a lot of work yet, and there's still quite a few spots where I got some holes and some cracks to fill, and on the inside it still needs to be cleaned up and gone through. But it still fits nicely in my bowl. I'm very, very happy with that. However, I think that's as far as I'm going to go on this piece today, because this piece also has to fit on the outside of the air cleaner itself, and as you can see right now, it doesn't. I don't know if that's because this piece isn't the right size or if it's because this is all rusty and mangled. So I think in the next video we're going to work on starting to recondition the bottom side of this and start working on the actual air cleaner itself before we go on any further with this baffle. Hopefully you guys found this interesting. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.